welcome everyone to 284 News. My name is Javon Wilson.
I'm Kamal Haynes.
And I'm Ron Grant.
And we are so thrilled and happy to be coming to you live out of the beautiful British Virgin Islands. The content continues via our website, 284media.com. In today's news, Elmore Stout High School Junior as well as Senior School closed as teachers stage a sick-out protest. The Education Minister responds.
On 10 UW's graduates to be acknowledged during BVI's Open Campus Graduate Recognition Ceremony set for tomorrow Thursday with Council Chair Dr. June Soomer to attend.
We also see Anegada Lobster Fest finally on alongside the BVI Lit Fest and the Honorable Delores Christopher Festival of the Arts. These are among some of the events slated for BVI's second annual Culture and Tourism Month.
And also outstanding documents on radar barges still to be submitted to the COI with the Attorney General to question former Governor Jaspert in cross-examination. And 70 traffic violation tickets issued, 2 scooters seized and 25 charged during recent Royal Virgin Islands Police Force VG operation. We get to these and more stories when 284 News returns.
You value traditions.
Today,
You value music. You value education. Family.
I love you.
Service.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
Well, welcome everyone. It's Wednesday, October 27th, 2021. I'm Kamal Haynes.
And my name is Javon Wilson. We are so happy and thrilled to be coming to you live out of the beautiful British Virgin Islands with your daily dose of 284 News. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, topping our headlines today across the region, the man Colombia describes as the world's most dangerous drug trafficker told security forces, and I quote, "You beat me," end of quote, when he was captured during an operation last weekend, the government said on Sunday, pledging to extradite him swiftly to the United States. Now, his name is Dairo Antonio Usaga, also known as Otoniel, was caught by Colombia's armed forces during an operation in a rural area of Colombia's Urabá region province, which involved more than 500 members of Colombia's special forces and 22 helicopters, officials said on Saturday. Now, viewers, our local police commissioner, Mr. Mark Collins, weighed in on the matter and said he is hoping that this can stem the flow of cocaine through the BVI, but also worries that someone else may take over operations. Mr. Mark Collins said, and I quote, "Any drug lord arrested for taking out would mitigate or lessen the opportunity to traffic drugs. But don't forget, for every drug dealer taken out, there is a void, and that void is filled pretty quickly with other people that want to take over the market," end of quote. Now, viewers, we're going to head straight into our newscast today. Earlier today, October 27, 2021, more than half of the teachers at the Elmore Stout Junior High School called in sick, causing the Ministry of Education to call off school for today. October 27. It is alleged that officials got wind of the plan to do the same at the senior high school and canceled senior school to do, and I quote, "remedial cleaning," end of quote, works. Our newsroom was made aware of the situation from parents and teachers and subsequently reached out to the Minister of Education, Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Whitley, who responded and said, and I quote, "The ministry is investigating the specific reasons that teachers at the junior campus of the Elmore Stout High School did not report to work." He said, and I quote, "This action was not sanctioned by the teachers union. We have been engaged in ongoing dialogue with the teachers union, and so far 5 issues were identified when we met in August." He said the first thing that was resolved was a payment of $300, a $300 stipend, that is. He said this request was approved, money budgeted, the checks are in process of being administered. 2, payment of increments. This request was approved, he said. The first of these was budgeted and it is in the process of being administered through Human Resources. 3, full involvement of salary review. This request was approved as confirmed by the Director of HR in her announcement of salary review for maintenance and mold remediation. And this is happening on an ongoing basis, the minister said. We have spent close to $1 million thus far for this year. And fifth, he said, updates on move from Passia campus to Lower Estate campus for Elmore-Stott High School. We have been making progress on an update, and that update will be given at the next meeting with teachers, the teachers union, as well as the House of Assembly. That was information coming directly from the Minister of Education, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Whitley, in response to today's strike. Now, viewers, teachers across the territory of the Virgin Islands have recently voiced their dissatisfaction with the state of education and treatment of educators in the Virgin Islands. In response to this, like we mentioned, a few things were done, but shockingly, I think, Kamal, it is still quite interesting that we see today the teachers as well, of course, the students as well being affected, stage a sick out. I think sending a very, very, very strong message to the ministry, even though the minister has come forward and said that the teachers union has absolutely nothing to do with this. I think the teachers are really taking a stance for themselves and saying, listen, we are demanding more, we deserve more.
Indeed, I mean, obviously over the past few weeks and months, you would have seen somewhat of a back and forth between the teachers and the ministry regarding treatment in terms of whether it be payment or whether it be the conditions that they were working in. And I guess, you know, somewhere along the lines, negotiations failed. Because obviously it had to fail if teachers are once again, you know, obviously taking this stance for their well-being and their mental health as well and their safety as well. And what some persons may see from the outside looking in, you know, some persons may question, you know, why are you doing this in the middle of a pandemic where the children are
already at a disadvantage.
And basically at a place now where they may even suffer even more greatly, considering obviously they have examinations coming up, whether it be Caribbean examination, council examinations and stuff.
Yes.
So persons may question it from both sides, but I mean obviously the teachers also would have had their many you know, problems and issues that they feel like it's time that these issues be addressed.
Yes.
And we are taking a stance so these issues can be addressed.
Right, and I think one other thing that has become clear throughout the last couple of months as well, the teachers union, teachers are literally accusing the teachers union of not standing in representation for them. They feel like the teachers union has taken a back seat on the matters that they have brought to the forefront. And so like the minister said again, the teachers union did not approve this protest. So that is pretty shocking. But we're trusting that collectively persons can come together, and this is the ministry, the union, as well as the educators of our territory to come to a resolve, because yes, we are demanding better treatment for our teachers, but that is simply because our students deserve more.
You spoke about, just before we move on to that story, you spoke about the teachers union and stuff. Obviously, I'm not aware of the teachers union here in terms of, you know, how they usually go about their protocols. But what we've seen across the region and across the world as of recent, unions don't necessarily have the power they once had back in the 70s, the 80s, 90s, where they were really for the rights of the people. Yes, there are some unions that still have the you know, the
negotiating power.
They have the negotiating power, but they have the interests of the people at forefront. And we see a lot of, especially back home in Barbados, where I come from, you will see a lot of these unions losing power because they're more politically affiliated these days. And obviously they're more in the pockets of politicians. So therefore, you know, they don't usually have the interests of the teachers, in this case, up front. I'm not saying that this particular unit is that's the case, but I'm saying they no longer have the interest of the stakeholders at heart when it comes to making these negotiations and stuff. So I guess it's a situation where the teachers, you know, will say, okay, well, we are going with or without you. If you haven't approved, well, we'll take our stance, and we ultimately have the power because we're supposed to be the ones controlling the union. And I guess we obviously have to look into the matter. We really do hope that the teachers' issues get resolved as soon as possible for the betterment of the teachers and also for the betterment of the students.
Yes.
Well, viewers, moving on to the next story, where 10 graduates of the University of the West Indies will be acknowledged during the UE Open Campus British Virgin Islands Graduate Recognition Ceremony, which will be held tomorrow, Thursday, October 28th, at a campus site in Parakeeta Bay. Well, this was confirmed in a media release by the University of the West Indies, which also revealed that Chair of UWI's Open Campus Council, Dr. Soomer, and Deputy Premier and Minister responsible for education, Dr. Natalia Wheatley, will participate in the 4 p.m. ceremony. Well, of those 10 graduates, 7 are from the UWI Open Campus and recently were conferred with their degrees during the recent virtual graduation ceremony on October 16, 2021, where they are Michael Smith, Kamika Harris, Simone Simpson Pope, Rodney Brathwaite, Tavia Hodge, Hida Joyce Selwood, and Dr. Susan Fred Potter. With Smith, Harris, and Pope were awarded Bachelor of Science degrees in Accounting, Management Studies or Economics, and Youth Development Work, respectively, while Brathwaite was awarded a Graduate Certificate in Disaster Risk Management and Resilience. While Hodge received a Master of Science in Management, and Joyce Selwood was awarded a Masters of Science Management and Education Leadership with distinction. Well, Dr. Susan Fred Potter became the first to be bestowed a UWI Open Campus BVI Doctorate of Education degree in the territory. Meanwhile, 3 graduates from the Cave Hill and Mona campuses will also be recognized during the local ceremony. They are Kyra Powell and Shade Piper, who are for Bachelors of Laws, and Marnell Horn for Master of Social Sciences in Trade Policy. Well, Dr. Soomer, who is currently in the BVI on other official business, was recently awarded the prestigious St. Lucia Cross, the country's highest national award, during the St. Lucia's 41st anniversary of independence. Well, she was appointed chair of the Open Campus Council in 2018 after serving as St. Lucia's ambassador to OECS and CARICOM, with responsibility for diaspora affairs from 2008 to 2016. And most recently, Dr. Soomer was Secretary General of the Association of Caribbean States until 2020. Well, she will deliver the keynote address and present the graduates with their degrees. And meanwhile, Deputy Premier Dr. Natalia Wheatley will bring greetings during this ceremony. We at 284 News obviously congratulate these students on their milestone achievement as graduates of the University of the West Indies.
Absolutely. Now, we are still ahead of the break. Outstanding documents on the radar barges still to be submitted to the COI, the Attorney General, to question former Governor Jaspert in a cross-examination format. And Lobster Fest is on, as well as BVI Lit Fest. We are also looking forward to the Delores Christopher Festival of the Arts, and these are among some of the events slated for the 2nd Annual Culture and Tourism Month. We have all the details ahead of the break. Stick with us.
Well, viewers, welcome back. But despite stating that the evidence stage of the Commission of Inquiry has been completed, Commissioner Sir Gary Hickenbottom has said that there are still several number of outstanding matters which needs to be addressed before pressing forward. Well, Sir Hickenbottom made this statement on Friday, October 22nd, where he revealed that there are still several outstanding requests for disclosure which the COI made to the Attorney General several weeks prior. Well, he also disclosed that the Attorney General, Don Smith, has requested to cross-examine former Governor Augustus Jaspert on behalf of the BVI government ministers. Take a listen.
The evidence stage, as I say, is complete, but that's subject to a number of caveats. First, there are outstanding several requests for disclosure, which we have made to the Attorney General several weeks ago. And I propose directing that the Attorney complies with each of those requests by 4 p.m. on Friday, the 29th of October. The IRU have supplied us with a list and a full list will be included in the formal order. Second, the Attorney General, on behalf of the elected ministers, has indicated that she wishes to question His Excellency the Governor directly by way of cross-examination, and has reserved her position in relation to applying to question the former Governor, Augustus Jaspert. I've already indicated during the course of the hearings this week that I'm willing in principle to grant the application to question the Governor, and he has said that he is willing to be questioned, but I've yet to determine the topics to which the questions will be limited.
Well, Sir Hickenbottom said he will be aiming to have that hearing within the final week of November. I requested that the Attorney General submitted the necessary information to facilitate the hearing.
In relation to those applications, I propose to direct, firstly, that by 4 p.m. today, the Attorney notifies the COI of dates of availability for counsel of her choice. I think that is Sir Geoffrey, for the period the 15th to the 26th of November. And whilst I can't guarantee it, I'll do what I can to accommodate counsel. Second, by 4 p.m. on Tuesday, the 26th of October, the Attorney A notifies the COI of the areas in respect of which she wishes to question the Governor, and B notifies the COI if she wishes to question Mr. Jaspert, and if so, the areas upon which she wishes to question him. And thirdly, by 4 p.m. on Wednesday, the 3rd of November, she sends the COI in electronic form a properly paginated and indexed hearing bundle for that hearing. Third, the Attorney has indicated that elected ministers, etc., for whom she acts, wish to file further evidence in relation to the training budget for the public service, and I propose directing that that will be sent to the COI team in electronic form, again duly indexed, by 4 p.m. on Friday the 29th of October. I understand the Attorney also wishes to lodge an affidavit to explain that budget, and I'm content with that by the same time and date, but the affidavit should be restricted to that explanation. Fourth, I was informed yesterday that the Attorney General had received a file from the Auditor General on Blunder Bay, which she was reviewing, and I direct that a copy of that file be lodged electronically with the COI by 4 p.m. on Friday, the 29th of October.
Well, Commissioner Hickenbottom also revealed that documents on the radar barges remain outstanding, which he said was pending an approval request from the National Security Council. But he said provisions are still in place to accommodate the submission of any further evidence, despite the evidence stage being deemed completed.
Subject to all of those caveats, evidence is complete. If anyone wants to lodge any further evidence, then they will have to make an application to me, setting out what evidence they now want to disclose and why the evidence was not made available to the COI sooner. In addition to those matters of evidence, a properly formulated application on PII and I understand other grounds in respect of the bundle of documents which the COI prepared in connection with the government's leasing of radar barges remains outstanding. Earlier this week, the IRU indicated that the NSC was still considering that request. In addition, we were told yesterday evening that the NSC wished to consider whether any parts of the transcripts from days 50 and 52 this week, which concerned radar barges, might be subject to a PII application. That at the moment is holding up publication of those transcripts. So I propose directing that if PII or any other ground for non-disclosure is maintained over either the bundle or the transcripts, then a properly formulated application with evidenced reasons for each suggested reduction be made to the COI by 4 p.m. on Friday the 29th of October.
All viewers, the Commissioner provided dates for which the National Security Council should submit evidence to substantiate the request to have certain information redacted from the transcripts, warning that if those deadlines for these dates have passed without submission, the documents will be published in the COI website as is.
All right, viewers, we are moving on. The Department of Culture is preparing to celebrate the second annual Cultural and Tourism Month in November under the theme, Our Heritage, Our People, Our Cultural Arts. When culture meets tourism, we capture all hearts. Now, viewers, the month is an important collaboration with several partners, including the Age Lavity Style Community College, the Virgin Islands Communal Association VICA, the Association for the Promotion of Arts and Culture APAC, the BVI Chamber of Commerce and Hotel Association, BVI-CCHA, and the BVI Tourist Board and Film Commission. Now, the Deputy Premier and Minister for Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries, and Agriculture, Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley, stated, and I quote, "We have a beautiful culture here in the Virgin Islands. We want residents and visitors to experience the wonders of our cultural heritage, our literary arts, our performing arts, and all the developmental activities that surround the preservation and showcasing of our culture. Culture and Tourism Month is the perfect opportunity to do so, and we look forward to widespread attendance and participation." End of quote. Now, viewers, the month is expected to commence with an opening ceremony, which will be held at 10:30 a.m. on Monday, November 1st, and get live streamed via the government's Facebook page. The opening ceremony will be followed by the BVI's first ever 2-week BVI Literary Festival to be called BVI Lit Fest. The BVI Lit Fest includes renowned regional and international literary artists, and Culture and Tourism Month also includes the ever popular Cultural Food Fair, which will include a school's art fest. Also during the month, VICA will be organizing its performance night of dance, song, and storytelling, while APAC will be bringing back its Delores Christopher Festival of the Arts. There is also a plethora of workshops for cultural artists and heritage workers. These include literary arts, visual arts, the museum, as well as genealogy, along with several competitions, including poetry and film competitions. The month will culminate with a forum between cultural artists and the tourism industry, which will be a collaboration between the Department of Culture and the BVI-CCHA. Now, viewers, the Director of Culture, Dr. Catherine Smith, further explained, and I quote, "There is such a vibrant talent and such a fascinating cultural heritage in the Virgin Islands, which can certainly enrich and develop cultural tourism in these islands. Yet, the impact is so much wider than that, because developing these creative industries can contribute to human and sustainable development. Through these industries, people are able to shape their own development and cultural identity, thus strengthening social cohesion while at the same time creating jobs and generating economic wealth." End of quote. Also speaking to the BVI Lit Fest was Literary Arts Officer Ms. Anika Christopher, who said, and I quote, "From poets to publishers to book lovers, the Virgin Islands are rich with literary history. The BVI Literary Festival provides an opportunity to celebrate our local literature, our literary arts, and the creative process through workshops, panel discussions, readings, signings, and launches. Our hope with this literary festival is to create a space in which we can engage in deeper, more focused discussions on our cultural identity through literature." End of quote. Now, viewers, if you're wondering, some of those events for the month includes on November 1st, Lit Fest, that is November 2nd to 13th. I missed that one. November 1st, the opening ceremony, November 2nd through 13th, Lit Fest. The Cultural Food Fair, that is going to be on November 12th, a book fair and an evening of music and poetry on November 13th, Development Museums Workshop, November 15th through the 19th, and VICA's Performing Night, that's going to be on November 20th. Leading on later on in the month, we have Delores Christopher Festival of the Arts on November 21st, Rock Your Territory Wear, of course, on November 26th. And of course, the creme de la creme of November, Anegada Lobster Fest on November 27th and 28th. Now, Culture and Tourism Month is aimed at developing cultural tourism in the Virgin Islands. For more information about the events taking place in the month of November, persons can contact the Department of Culture at the number 468-4379 or 468-9912. You can also visit their Facebook page at Virgin Islands Department of Culture. Kamal, very highly anticipated, especially since we culturally, socially have been displaced by COVID-19. When you think about BVI, I think one of the things that's synonymous with November is Lobster Fest, Food Fest. So I'm very happy to see also the two industries marrying each other, because, you know, I can recall a few months ago, not just a few months ago, more like a year ago, the cruise industry calling on the BVI to be more culture focused. And I think it really resonated with our legislators. And clearly we see the tourism industry marrying culture as well, to ensure that whatever we're projecting, whatever we're selling, screams BVI.
Indeed, and I'm sure a lot of persons will be looking forward to this. I think obviously not having it last year due to COVID and a resumption of it this year. Once everything goes to plan, as the case, if the cases continue to remain at bay, you know, a lot of persons, I believe, will be traveling into the BVI for this event. So I'm sure,
especially the foodies.
Yes, there will be, and I'm sure that Anegada will be packed with hundreds and hundreds of persons comes November 27th and 28th.
And we will be over there.
Of course we
Yes,
will. 284 News and 284 Media will be there, bringing you the latest coverage as it comes.
Yes.
Well, viewers, up next, 70 traffic violation tickets issued with 2 scooters seized and 25 charged during a recent Royal Virgin Islands Police Force Virgin Guard operation. We get to this story after 284 News return.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, seatbelt violations topped the number of ticketed offences recorded during an operation executed by the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force on the sister island of Virgin Gorda, accounting for 44 of a total of 70 tickets issued. Well, this is according to a media release from the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force recently, which revealed that the operations also resulted in 25 persons being charged and 2 scooters being seized. What the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force said, and I quote, "In this operation on Thursday, persons driving without a seatbelt topped the list of violations, with 44 ticketed. 11 persons were also ticketed for riding on or standing in the tray of a truck, while 7 persons were ticketed for prohibitive tints, while 4 others were ticketed for failing to display a taxi license, while 2 scooters were seized during the operation," end quote. While speaking following the success of the operation was Acting Sergeant within the Road Policing Unit, Kishon Leslie, who addressed a number of his concerns. Well, he said too many are still not adhering to the seatbelt and cellular phone regulations. Well, Sergeant Leslie said, and I quote, "The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force may report of those that die or seriously injured in traffic collisions. However, we rarely report on those who have to be flown off for further treatment and are in long-term hospitalization, or those who are permanently disabled, lose their income and quality of life. But these cases go unreported, but difficult lives nonetheless are the same for many after a serious accident," end quote. But the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force also said that the regulations under the Road Traffic Act are intended to reduce trauma to the body of persons who are driving or riding in vehicles in case they are in a collision. What the act also is to protect pedestrians against drivers whose unfocused attention while using a cellular device can lead to their deaths. But the Virgin Guard operation included officers from the Road Policing Unit, Armed Response Unit, and Beat and Patrol Unit, and the Marine Unit. Well, Javon, this is when we heard this news in terms of this seatbelt offenses topping that list of offenses on VG, it didn't really come as a surprise, because the previous operations which were on Tortola, seatbelt offenses were that of the majority also as well. But what we see here is the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force basically, you know, going out on the streets and, you know, trying to get persons doing the right thing more often, because before there was a cry of not too many police presence on the island or in the territory. And I'm seeing the recently instituted new commissioner, Mark Collins, you know, working on getting that sorted. But viewers, that's all we have for today's newscast. I'm Kamal Haynes.
And my name is Javon Wilson, encouraging you to join us again tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.